All right, welcome back to the Fixtures podcast. Many, many months have passed. The world is a little on fire, but football is back, and so are we. All right, so I am joined from everybody from their own homes. I'm joined today by Nikki
Hello.
and Mark.
Uh, yeah.
So we are recording over the wire, obviously. So if we have some audio problems, I apologize in advance. But let's just get right into it. So the first game, of course, opening back up at the the blockbuster fixture to open things back up after no football for many, many months, of Aston Villa, Sheffield United. Aston Villa 0, Sheffield United 0.
I was so deprived of soccer during this time that I actually watched this one. That sounds bad, but I expected things to happen, and one thing happened. Two things happened. Well, first of all, Keenan Davis, his first Premier League start ever happened this game, and it was abysmal. He couldn't. I mean, he had 50 shots straight at Dean Henderson. It was funny. It was sad. It was. I mean, just looking at the stats, they had 6 shots on target to Sheffield United's 1, and they couldn't make anything out of that. And then, of course, the goal line technology incident, where Keenan Davis, the star of the show, pushed his own goalkeeper Nealand into the goal, but it didn't count because question mark.
Well, so why didn't it count, I guess, has been a hotly debated topic. So obviously, I don't think there's any question at this point that that was indeed a goal. Like, the ball was in the net.
They issued an apology.
They issued an apology, which pretty much means it's a goal. So what happened? I mean, it seems like there was an issue with the goal line technology. They claim that all of their, I forget how many they said, 8 or 10 cameras were all happened to be blocked in this specific run of play, and they could not activate the goal line technology, which is interesting because I didn't even know that's how that worked. Really, I thought it was a sensor in the ball or something, but I didn't know it's all camera based, I guess, and they just see the ball go over the line, and I guess it was blocked. All the cameras were blocked, so they didn't have goal line technology, so it didn't buzz the referee's watch, and he claimed it as no goal, and here we are. They have to issue an apology after the match. I mean, what is that really what happened? Who knows? Well, I guess we'll never really know. But I don't know. It's amazing that the first game back, this is what happened. Such a big, high-profile incident. But yeah, very interesting to say the least. But this is an interesting battle. I mean, at the start of the season, you probably would have thought this was a relegation battle, but it turns out it's not. It's a battle for Sheffield United to get into a European spot and Aston Villa to avoid relegation. So with that in mind, do we see Aston Villa going down? And this is a bit of a spoiler for future games to come, but do we see Aston Villa going down?
Personally, I think Aston Villa is staying up. I think just Jack Grealish, John McGinn. Well, not even just those two, but they have a lot of really solid actual Premier League level players that Norwich definitely doesn't have because they're rock bottom. I think other relegation battle teams such as Southampton, Bournemouth, Watford, they don't really have the same quality of a starting lineup, I'd say, as Aston Villa does. Just even all the way down to their goalkeeper. I mean, I know they don't have their first goalkeeper right now, but when he comes back, that's just a big boost. But then, of course, Tyrone Mings in the back. They haven't been solid all season, but this match was a positive performance, and obviously, they benefited from it. They did well in the next match that they played, if I recall correctly. But yeah. I don't think it's...
Yes, they played today against Newcastle, 1-1 draw. So as of today, they are sitting in 19th place, 27 points, separated by goal difference from Bournemouth, also on 27 points, and West Ham, also on 27 points, with Watford sitting at 28 points. So a win or even a draw right now puts them above and out of relegation zone. So
I don't
yeah,
like how.
go ahead.
Uh, yeah, I don't understand how West Ham are in relegation. I predicted them to finish 10th this season or something. No, but yeah.
Yeah, so we'll get to West Ham in a moment, because oh boy, do I have some stuff to say about West Ham. Um, but Nikki, do you see Villa going down?
I think yes, they are going to go down uh because I think their recent two fixtures, I think both of them, neither of them really went their way specifically, and I think because of that, West Ham is going to take the opportunity and kind of cement their spot above the bottom three.
All
And
right.
the question goes, where does Grealish go if Villa goes down?
Apparently, nobody
Um,
has any idea.
I mean, I don't even know. I mean,
I'm saying Spurs.
I don't know. Do you think he's?
I feel like he would definitely go to an English club.
I mean,
Oh,
yeah, I
100.
think so. But I guess, do you think he's good enough for a top team, or do you see him going to more of a mid-table team?
I could see him going to like United or Wolves
Well, United
or
will buy anybody.
or
Yeah.
Sheffield.
Sheffield. No, I don't think he really fits Sheffield United's play style. I'd say
I mean, if
Everton
they get
would
that
be a good
European
place.
money, man.
Oh yeah, but I'd say Everton would not be a bad
Yeah,
destination
No,
for
Everton
him
would
at
Everton
be a
wouldn't be a
all.
good.
bad destination.
They could go to West Ham.
That team is
Well,
cursed.
not if West Ham's going down, which I'm willing to put my money down that they are. Um, so anyway, not to dwell too much on this, talk too much about this 0-0 draw. Moving on. Manchester City 3, Arsenal 0. Mark,
Wow.
walk us through one of two tragedies as an Arsenal fan.
I missed soccer so much, guys. um, so David Luiz should never be allowed on a pitch again. Good news is that he just signed a contract extension today with Arsenal.
Yep,
So
he is here and he is here to stay.
I'm
Yeah, I
smiling through
thought
the
for
pain right
sure
now.
thought for sure that that would have been his last game at
Oh
Arsenal and
my
that was it.
goodness.
And
He
Arsenal decides to reward this fine display of defending with a contract extension.
This was a winnable game. I'm not even kidding. We played fine until David Luiz came on. It was
Dude, Leno is so good.
oh dude, Bernd Leno is like player of the season every season since freaking 19 or 1888 or whenever 1886. I don't know. Whenever Arsenal was founded, Leno player of the season every year. But yeah, David Luiz's defensive capabilities were a travesty. Two injuries picked up in this match. That's three players that weren't available for the next match coming out of that match. Granit Xhaka got injured in like the second or third minute.
Oh yeah,
Pablo Mari.
this was the most Arsenal game I've ever seen. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
it was I literally I think I texted both of you and I said, "Wow, look at that. Arsenal's fielding a full like starting 11. Both Kieran Tierney and Hector Bellerin are starting." I'm like, I give this game 5 minutes. At 4 minutes and 56 seconds, I think it was.
yeah. Xhaka's on
The
the
first
floor,
injury happened.
and that's a big blow. I mean, he's gonna be back either for the next game, which is tomorrow, or more likely the game after that. But that's still a big blow. He's unironically been our best midfielder since Arteta came. And then Pablo Mari, the new center back that we also signed on a permanent deal yesterday, or I guess it was today. I don't really remember. He got injured in the 26th minute. I think he's out for this season, although I'm not 100% sure. But of course, Pablo Mari going down kind of brought the tragedy that was David Luiz onto the pitch for the rest of the game. So Raheem Sterling's goal in the dying minutes of the first half were from just bouncing off David Luiz's leg straight, like just a random pass straight into Raheem Sterling. Second goal was honestly, I wouldn't have given it as a red card. It was a little weak as a red card. It was a penalty, but I would give him a yellow. And then Phil Foden, getting on the score sheet, he came on as a sub. That was a really good plus for the end of this cursed game because about 10 minutes before Phil Foden scored that goal, Ederson had a genius moment and kind of like almost killed Eric Garcia, the like 19-year-old center back.
He's a center defensive mid, I thought.
No,
No, he was
a
playing center
yeah.
back.
Oh, really?
Yep.
But yeah, it's
Was until Ederson decided he wasn't anymore.
yeah. And so yeah, it was a difficult game to watch. Yeah.
I think David Luiz is. I think that was a red card because I mean, it wasn't like he was actually trying to go for the ball. It was just like if it was 100% deliberate. If he even made it look at all like he was trying to go for the ball, I would say it would be a yellow. But he literally just pulled him.
Oh yeah, without any doubt, that's a red card.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be mad that it was a red card. I'm fine with that. I'd rather honestly Arsenal with 10 players on the pitch was better than 11. So yeah.
And Manchester City, I mean, how do you? They were basically business as usual for them. Raheem Sterling scoring his first goal in quite a while. I don't have the stats in front of me, but it's been a while. And Jesus starting. A lot of teams not fielding a full lineup at the start with 5 subs. You don't really need to. So, all right, we'll save the second Arsenal game for a bit, and we'll talk more Arsenal in a minute. But real quick, we'll jump over to Norwich City 0, Southampton 3. Nothing overly shocking here. Norwich continues to just flounder. No break has helped them. I don't think they're beyond any hope at this point. They are 6 points adrift at the bottom of the table, and there's no coming back for them. I'm sorry. This is business as usual for Southampton. I think you would be shocked if they lost this game, even with Southampton being poor this year. I mean, they're in 14th place, and I would be shocked if any team manages to lose to Norwich at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you can't expect any team to like fold at the hands of the mighty Norwich City. So, I mean, Danny Ings scoring a goal, I wasn't sure if he was going to be able to come back and do well because I know he's had injury issues. So, I mean, he could have come back, gotten injured immediately, or scored a goal. So that's a really good boost for Southampton. Really good boost for him.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of relegation battle, I think Southampton's fine. They're at 37 points. So, I mean, they would need to drop quite a few points in order to drop in a relegation zone. I think they're safe at this point. Basically,
I wish Southampton went down.
Basically, Brighton and below are potentially in danger. So
I hate Southampton.
So Nikki's personal biases aside.
Nikki's personal biases aside, yes. So moving on from there, we have Tottenham 1, Manchester United 1. Goals for Bergwijn and Bruno Fernandes. So this game, a little interesting. Roy Keane definitely has been just stewing in anger for the past 3 months, and let that all out on over the when he was on air. I'm not sure if you guys saw the Sky Sports thing, but he basically said that David De Gea and Harry Maguire deserve no place in this team. They should not be world-class players, and they shouldn't even be allowed back on the bus back to Manchester at the end of this game.
Yeah. And then Solskjaer responded by saying that David De Gea is the best goalkeeper in the world.
Why? I mean, it's a 1-1 result. I mean, you can't really just be like.
Mind you,
David
this
De Gea
is at
and Harry
halftime.
Maguire.
He said this.
Oh.
This was at the halftime.
Oh,
so
that's
this
even
is
worse.
this is after Bergwijn scored and before Bruno Fernandes scored. So this is a 1-0 to Spurs.
But
at
either way,
that
that is
point.
so reactionary. Like, I mean, you can't just say, the past 5 or so years of David De Gea being actually world class, especially that one like 2017, 2018 season, uh, where you can't just throw that all away in one half of a game.
Yeah, I mean, interesting. I think David Hay has been a bit of a debate. I mean, he claims that he's the most overrated goalkeeper in the history of goalkeepers, and basically doesn't rate him at all. I'm not the biggest David De Gea fan. I don't think he's particularly fantastic. I don't think he's dreadful as some other goalkeepers. Certain Chelsea goalkeepers come to mind, but I don't think
Okay,
he's
sure.
particularly great either. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's at least my thoughts on it. But
Um,
I mean, looking at the table, we have Manchester United in fifth place at the moment with 49 points, and we have Spurs in seventh with 45 points. I mean,
yeah.
do we think either of those teams has a shot at finishing top four at this point? I
Top
mean,
four doesn't maybe not. Oh wow, those weren't words. Might not matter this season because of Manchester City having financial fair play and UEFA difficulties. They might not be allowed to compete in Europe next season. So fifth
Lamau.
place might be enough. And I also think that I think that United honestly could beat out Chelsea. Like they're 2 points behind, and yes, Chelsea have a game in hand, but I mean, especially with today's game, Manchester United have looked a lot sharper.
I
So
mean, they played Sheffield.
yeah,
that's eighth
Sheffield United
place
is in
Sheffield
eighth.
to you. Um, yeah, I mean, I mean, and do we see Spurs finishing
I don't think United
anywhere up there?
catches Chelsea, dude. I mean,
They need 2 points. They're two
United
points
have a
away.
game. United have a game in hand, and Chelsea's still 3 points ahead.
Well,
True,
Chelsea have a
true.
game in hand, and they're 2 points ahead. But yeah, but on no, anything's possible at this point.
I
Um,
mean, I don't. I mean, that would mean Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea could possibly. I would say they could potentially pull off a draw versus City, realistically.
okay, and then that means if they lose their next game, United win. United's already caught up.
I know, but that's not going to happen though, because United's not going to win. Do
All right.
you
Well,
know who you're talking about? You're talking about Manchester United.
moving on. We have Watford 1, Leicester City 1. Um, so not too much going on in this game. Two goals past the 90th minute. Goal for Ben Chilwell and Craig Dawson for Watford. Was a good win for Watford, especially considering they were I mean, they still are in contention for relegation, but this puts them a little bit safer at the moment. They're sitting in 16th place at the moment, basically only holding on because there are other teams that are doing even worse than they
Horse.
are. So not a great, not great for them.
I
So
mean, Leicester City only pulled off 2 shots on target all game, though. So what does that tell you
yeah,
about
and I mean
them?
Leicester City not great for a team that's. I mean, really at the start of the season looked like they should have been competing even with the likes of Man City and Liverpool. So that's not a great start for them. But I think we'll see more from them to come. They have not played their. Oh, they did. They did play their second game. They played Brighton and they drew too. Yeah, they are not looking sharp. Um.
Nope.
Anyway, though, I've been waiting for this one, so
Oh, jeez.
I can't hold it in anymore. Mark,
Oh
Brighton
no,
2, Arsenal 1.
this one hurt more than the City game.
Oh, for sure.
I
I mean
mean,
that's City. This is relegation contenders Brighton.
yeah, we
This was
lost 2-1 to
hilarious.
Brighton at home, and now we lose 2-1 to Brighton away. The Nicholas Pepe goal was nice. At least we scored this time. But it was. I mean, I actually had hope for all of 7 minutes before Lewis Dunk equalized. It was just out of nothing too. Like Saka passes it to Pepe. I'm like, okay, that is just gonna be another cross into the box. That nothing happens, and then boom, he bangs it in. So I had a little bit of hope for a little bit, and then and then I forgot, the original the first thing that happened, which was Neil Maupay trying to snap Bryn Leno's leg, kind of. I mean, he tried to contest for a ball that Leno was going to catch every day of the week because arms are taller than your head, you know, because you can put your arms over your head. But that knocked Bryn Leno over and thus knocked our season over because he was, he's kind of the only plus side of the season so far.
Not
And then, so Nicolas Pepe scores, and then Emiliano Martinez gets super unlucky with a scrappy goal. Scored against him by Lewis Dunk off a corner. And then this was what hurt the most was last second, Neil Maupay. I don't even remember how he scored it. I was like in shock. But it was, I mean, he should have gotten a yellow card at least a yellow card for injuring Leno. But then, yeah, he scores the winning goal in the 95th minute. And of course, Yves Bissouma, 23-year-old Ivorian midfielder for Brighton, committed 6 fouls in that game and did not get a yellow, which has happened 3 other times this season in the Premier League. Another one of those times was also to Arsenal. Fun fact. But yeah, not so fun fact. There were a lot less positives from this game than there were from the City game, and that's really saying something because the City game was just abysmal. But yeah,
So, looking at Arsenal as a whole, it does not look good for Arsenal.
No.
I mean, you're looking at Aubameyang being out of contract, Bryn Leno injured for the rest of the season. You've re-signed David Luiz now.
Oh jeez.
Where is Arsenal going? I guess
to the championship.
Yeah, most likely. So,
yeah. I mean, are we looking at the fall of one of these great clubs? Are we looking at the next Newcastle of a team that just
Or the next
just never comes
Sunderland.
back? What?
um,
What'd you say?
well, I don't think a Sunderland kind of decline is gonna happen, but
I don't know. It's not. I mean, it could.
yeah, with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, he has a year left on his contract now. Since June 30. Oh, until June. From June 30th, he will have a year left on his contract. Honestly, it's best to just sell him for like 60 million, reinvest into the midfield. Lacazette has been out of form for over a year now. Honestly, sell him too. I mean, he could make about 40, 50 million. Although, if I were to choose to keep one, probably Lacazette, just because he doesn't have a year left on his contract. Bukayo Saka, the 18-year-old left winger, who has been Arsenal's second best player this season after Bryn Leno. He hasn't signed a new contract yet, so just like Aubameyang, he'll have a year left on his contract next week. And then Martinelli just got injured. I mean, this season kind of just went down the toilet. After this season, if we don't make good sales and buy like midfielders, because we've been linked with Thomas Partey, and if William Saliba, who's set to come for next season from Saint Etienne, isn't as good as we hope he is, then yeah, Arsenal could probably slip into like an Everton kind of thing where we're like 10th every season from being like 4th, So that's a little worrying. And then we're kind of signing average players, saying they're stopgaps, but then we're renewing David Luiz. We're bringing Cedric Suarez onto a 4-year deal, despite him never having played for the club. Yeah, I don't really see an up from here unless Arteta can get things moving after the 2-1 at Brighton. There's not really much in the midfield to look like that looks great. I mean, Matteo Guendouzi does seem like he's really good, but that's just about it. Xhaka was having an all right season. And then, just the defense has been a mess since Wenger left, or since, Mertesacker retired, really. And so, yeah, with Bryn Leno gone, the season's not going to go well. And if we can't make the right moves in the summer, nothing's going to go well next season either, I don't think.
And also, you're losing a huge form of revenue by not even making the Europa League.
Oh
this
yeah,
year.
no,
I
there's
mean, that's gonna be huge.
yeah. This is the first. Oh god, I think that's the first time this has ever happened since like 1989, where we
Yeah,
haven't made Europe.
it's been a while.
Yeah. So that's I mean that like they were talking about bringing back the Champions League money this year. Like we might not even get Europa League money, and we kind of threw the Europa League by conceding like a bunch of last minute goals to Olympiacos before the pause. So yeah, I mean that's unfortunate. We're probably not going to be like with the amount of money Arsenal spend, it's not like sustainable unless Kroenke invests more money in, which I have no doubt he will. I mean, people paint him as a bad owner. He's not a bad owner. It's the staff that's worse. I mean, we spent probably actually the most out of any Premier League club last summer, maybe behind Aston Villa, I think. But other than him, yeah, I don't see, or other than like, the money that Stan Kroenke has invested, the backroom staff isn't as good as we hope. Like Edu Gaspar and Raul Senier are like working with agents quite a bit. Like Jude Charbian, I'm 100% sure I messed up the pronunciation, but that's like, David Luiz's agent, Slaven Kurzawa's agent, who we were linked with in January. So yeah, things are not looking bright. Yeah.
Moving on, I won't rub it in too much. Moving on. Sad times to be a West Ham fan. West Ham nil, Wolves 2.
When has it not been a sad time to be a West Ham fan?
Wolves running riot this game, really. They should have probably scored more than they did. They looked really, really solid, and West Ham is just miserable. Just miserable to watch. And I mean, so goals from Jimenez and Neto's goal honestly could be goal of the season. Fantastic goal. Adama Traore coming on and really making a huge difference for Wolves. Neto nearly taking the keeper's head off with that volley. But really good, solid performance from Wolves. Adama Traore showing that he is, one heck of a player. And
He's
West Ham showing that they are probably going to go down. Because,
Adama Traore is so good.
man,
Oh
is
yeah,
West Ham bad.
He's so good.
Adama Traore. I mean, he's always been a question mark. Like ever
Did you
since,
know that he used to play at Barca?
yeah, I was gonna say ever since he came through Barca's academy. But I mean, this season he's erased all doubts.
No, I remember seeing Adama Traore come on as like a sub on like the first year that Wolves was up. So last season.
yeah,
Two
but
seasons
yeah,
ago, I
as a
think.
sub though, like
I remember him coming on as a sub, and he would just destroy. And I was like, why don't they play this dude more?
well, the thing was he's had so many years of just awful and mediocrity. Like I think he got relegated with Middlesbrough a couple seasons back. He was pretty much always rejected at Barca. I mean, just this season has been really, really good for Adama Traore.
I'm going to try to pick up the pace a little bit here because unfortunately we have a lot of games to get through still. So next up, we got Bournemouth nil, Crystal Palace 2. Bournemouth continuing to just be awful as well.
They're
Um,
down.
they're
They're already
down.
relegated. Yeah.
They are just poor. I mean, I don't even know what happened to this side. They looked so good, and I mean that Bournemouth from I think was that even last year? God,
It
this
was,
it's
yeah. I mean,
shockingly different. I mean,
David Brooks got injured in the preseason. I'm telling you, that was the big difference. I predicted it at the start of the season, I think, where I
did
said David Brooks, being injured is a huge blow because he was like their main source of goals and assists, and now he's gone. So, or he's back now, but I
and
mean, he's been out since preseason. So,
yeah, and now Ryan Fraser out of contract said he's not resigning, and Eddie Howe said, "Cool, you've played your last game for Bournemouth," and is not starting him anymore, not playing him anymore. I don't even think he was on the bench.
he wasn't.
So I mean, that's it for Ryan Fraser, and that's it for Bournemouth. I think that's curtains for them. They're gonna
Yeah.
have to rebuild from the championship. Moving
It's
on
a
though.
shame.
Speaking of rebuilding from the championship, Newcastle 3, Sheffield United nil. Although I will put the asterisk of Sheffield United playing with 10 men. I guess the question I have for you guys is is Sheffield United has the magic worn off with the prolonged break? Was it just a good run of form and now they don't know how to they won't be able to get that back, or do you guys see them finishing top six?
I don't think they're getting top six, not anymore. Having 2 3-0 losses in a row is gonna have a big effect on Sheffield United, who had the second best defensive record before the pause, just behind Liverpool. But then not only that, but letting Joe Ellington score his second goal of the season against you, and losing Johnny Egan that game.
And Saint Maximin, don't forget him as well.
Oh yeah, no, but that wasn't like. I mean, San Maximin has been playing fine. Joe Ellington, my goodness, and Matt Ritchie scored too. I mean, geez, not a good game for Sheffield United.
Yeah, they need to do something in order to bounce back, and Newcastle's been looking decent enough.
Yeah.
Moving on though, Aston Villa 1, Chelsea 2. Olivier Giroud getting his first start under Frank Lampard. Goals from Giroud and Pulisic.
And
Nikki,
Courtney Hausa for the center back for Aston Villa.
Nikki, were you happy with this game?
Yes.
Riveting. I think Aston Villa really could have played better here. I think they played really well, and I think they deserved more than they got.
No, I think they played really bad.
Really? I thought they played decent.
They had no possession. The possession stats were literally Chelsea had 75% possession to their 25.
They played really well for the first half, and up until Pulisic came on.
Chelsea was looking better the first half too. I mean, Chelsea had more shots off in both halves. It's just Aston Villa kind of got lucky with one shot.
No, I thought they played well. I thought they played well with the possession they had. I mean, they were never going to be. I don't think it was ever going to be 50-50 possession. I mean, they did what they needed to do. It just wasn't enough. I don't think.
Fair, yeah, but I think the man of the match for this game was either Azpilicueta or Christian Pulisic.
Yeah, I would say Pulisic kind of made a big difference when he came on.
He did make a big difference on that left wing, and I think he's going to be starting up the left wing a lot more than he has been, because I think we're trying to ease away from relying on Willian and Pedro.
They're kind of gone.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they're both very good players, and they're still both very good players. Like Willian is still, I think, a very pivotal player in the Chelsea squad, but I think they're getting to the point into the age that they both just got renewed for new contracts for one more year, but I think we're getting to the point where Frank Lampard's trying to ease off of having to rely on them.
I mean, that's a really smart approach, though.
Yeah, no, because that's the way they're doing it. It's because we have so many options on the wings. On both sides, we have so many options with Callum Hudson-Odoi, Christian Pulisic, Mason Mount. Now we have Hakeem Ziyech, who can play winger as well. But I think Christian Pulisic is probably going to cement himself as the starting left wing, because they started Mason Mount in left wing at the beginning of this game, and he played very well. It's just I feel Mason Mount has a hard time really showing what he could do on the field if he's not playing center attacking mid, because that's definitely his strongest role. And as soon as he went back to center attacking mid when Christian Pulisic came in, it was like a whole different game, because I mean he was making so many passes. If you look back at both the goals, they were both set up by they were like both of the moves were set up and kind of just dominated by Mason Mount, like with the passing play and everything. It was so good, and it was just because he got moved back to center attacking mid, and Christian Pulisic was playing really, really, really well on the wing as well. So,
all right, moving on, we have Everton 0, Liverpool 0.
Hang on. While we're at the Chelsea game, should we talk about the two signings that they've made?
Sure. Walk us through the signings, Nick.
since the last podcast, so they've made 2 signings. They
Okay.
signed Hakeem Ziyech from Ajax, which I think Frank Lampard only signed Hakeem Ziyech so he would never do what he did to them in the Champions League this season ever again. Which was when Hakeem Ziyech scored that free kick that was from a ridiculous angle, and the way he scored it was he just hit it off the post into Kepa's face.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that goal. That goal was hilarious. Hakeem Ziyech had an amazing game that game. I think honestly that's what Frank Lampard, why that's what caught his eye. And then obviously the big talk of the town is Timo Werner joining Chelsea next season.
Yeah, Chelsea's gonna be unstoppable next season. I'm calling it.
Okay, yeah, but the thing is, we don't have a defense.
You don't
And
need
also,
one,
I
Nicky.
mean,
It's Timo Werner.
Kurt Zuma in defense.
is Timo Werner going to be taking the spot of Tammy Abraham, you think, or is he going to be played on the wing?
I mean, I think he's definitely going to be being played striker. I wouldn't be surprised if they went for the unconventional now, or the now unconventional 4-4-2 formation, or a 4-1. I would not be. I would place my bets on seeing a 4-1-2, 1-2 wide. So
That's a lot of ones and twos, Nicky.
yeah. Well, I would if I had to bet, I would probably be. I think if Kai Havertz joins Chelsea, as well, which I mean it's not officially yet, but he's very close apparently. And I think if he joins Chelsea, I think N'Golo Kante is gone.
Really?
Yeah,
They don't even play the same role, do they?
no, but I think if Kai Havertz signs, N'Golo Kante is going to be gone. I think the midfield options that we have then, if he signs, are just going to be way too crowded. And so plus I know Conte he hasn't really wanted to leave. It's Real Madrid have been trying to sign him for like 2 seasons now. And so I think I think it's also kind of a smart time to cash in on that, because what I think we would do is we would take Jorginho back and play Jorginho in the center defensive midfielder role, or Kovacic. Honestly, either of them are both. I think both of them are fantastic players. I think Kovacic has really shined this season.
And Kovacic is better.
I think Jorginho is also exceptional as well. They've both really shined this season. And then I think it would probably be Pulisic on the left wing, Ziyech on the right wing, Mason Mount in cam, and Werner and Abraham up top.
And then who would be your starting center backs?
Oh, I mean, starting center backs would probably be Azpilicueta and Rudiger, and then right back would be Reece James. That's how he should be doing it right now.
You don't rate Christensen?
No. I think what Chelsea needs to do with their defense. Honestly, we don't have that bad of a defense. I think Marcos Alonso is a very good player. Everyone hates Marcos Alonso for some reason.
He killed a woman.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I'm not talking about that.
What happens to all of us?
Yeah, God. I mean, I've killed like 5. All right, so I think it would be Marcos Alonso in left back. I think it would be Rudiger and Azpilicueta in center back, and Reece James in right back.
Okay. Let's skip over Everton Liverpool for a minute.
Sad.
And
The boring game.
I have to step away for a quick moment. So Nikki and Mark, please continue. I'll be right back.
Man City Burnley. Oh my goodness, that was a slaughter.
I mean, I think everybody expected it to be a slaughter.
This is like the third time in a row Man City has beat Burnley 5-0.
Phil Foden deserves to start now for City.
Yeah.
I mean, he's getting to the age where either he needs to start starting for City or he needs to get the heck out of City.
Yeah, honestly, any team. He could start for pretty much any team.
He could easily start for any team I would say at least any team in the Premier League.
Bro, 100%.
I could see him starting for any team in the Premier League. And I think City is definitely the hardest team for him to start at, just given the competitiveness of their starting 11, because it's very hard to actually break through in their starting 11, I feel like. But I think he definitely needs to start starting, or if he doesn't start starting, he needs to get out of there. They played him in left wing this game.
Yeah, I think conventionally a center mid.
He is. He's conventionally he's either a center mid or a center defensive mid. So I was a little shocked when I saw him playing left wing, but he played exceptionally. So
he scored twice. That's all you can ask for.
That's 3 goals in 2 games now. Since
Yeah, no, he did fine. He did really well.
and he
I
also,
think this
I
is
think he might have picked up a couple of assists in there somewhere.
most likely. I'm not exactly sure on assist stats, but I know he. I mean, this is. I mean, he's just giving reason to Pep. Start me, you bald fraud, right? So,
Precise.
and then Riyad Mahrez with 2 goals as well, both within like 5 minutes of each other. One of them was a penalty.
I
Uh,
regularly forget that Mahrez plays for City.
he's like, I mean, he was 60 million, and he's not even a starter most games.
I know.
Big news: Leroy Sané came off the bench to make his big return. He was gone.
Leroy Sané is probably going to leave City.
Yeah, but
He's
you
probably
know,
he said he wants to go to Bayern.
yeah, no, he's gone. But um, Eric Garcia obviously didn't play this game because he got laid out by Ederson.
Yeah.
um, yeah, I mean,
All right.
awful game for Burnley.
Let's move on to Leicester Brighton. It was a 0-0 draw.
Yeah, things. I mean,
Riveting game. Riveting game.
with the 3 shots on target come by.
No.
Um,
I think this
yeah,
shows how much time has passed since since these guys last played soccer.
yeah. No, this is like
It's
3.
been a long time.
Oh,
So
didn't Maupay miss a penalty
I
this
think so.
game?
I
Yeah.
believe so. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, sad for Leicester City, I guess.
yeah, Neil Maupay did miss a penalty in the
Yeah,
40th minute.
he
But
deserved it.
he shouldn't even have been playing this game. He should have been red carded.
He would definitely okay
What?
for that game
No, he should
or
have been red carded already
for what?
from the Arsenal game.
I wouldn't call that a red card. I'd call that a yellow. But
I think he should have got red, and I think Ganduzi also should have got red.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I kind of forgot about that. Yeah. No, that was they kind of had a fight post match, more like Ganduzi kind of choked hold
Ganduzi
him.
just
Yeah.
bopped him in the head, bro.
I love Ganduzi, bro. He's a good boy. But yeah.
All right, moving on. Tottenham 2, West Ham 2. Long story short,
Nope. West Ham no.
West Ham sucks. Or West Ham, no. That's what I meant to say.
I mean, how does your like?
long story short, they suck.
How did their new signing score an own goal? Dad, just
Because
get him out of the team immediately. Huracan scored another goal.
I don't. I was Tammy Abraham was talking in an interview, and he said that Harry Kane is the best striker in the world.
I mean, Harry Kane. I will say he's good. I'll say if he had better players around him that didn't play for Spurs, he would be better.
I think because that's what Tammy Abraham was saying. Tammy Abraham was like, if you give the ball to Harry Kane like anywhere, pretty much, he's probably gonna score.
Yeah, honestly, a move to Real Madrid. I think it should have already happened. If he didn't go, like if he doesn't go this season, I don't think he's going.
I don't know. For me, it's weird to see English players in like other leagues.
Yeah, but that's a bad thing because like you're supposed to.
I know, but it's like it's like so it's like odd. I don't know. It's so like odd for. Because like not a lot of English players go to any other leagues.
Yeah, like right now I can think of John Joe Kenny and Jadon Sancho in the Bundesliga.
I can think of Ronaldo Vieira in the Serie A.
I don't even know who that is.
He played for Leeds. He was really good. He plays for Sampdoria now.
He sounds Italian though. So
He's not. He's English, but his name is Ronaldo Vieira.
that's a great name.
Okay, so West Ham's going down. They suck. Honestly, I think we should just relegate like 8 teams this season. Honestly, just relegate the top 10 and just bring the top 10 from the championship up. That's all we got to do.
Leeds will finally come back.
Leeds will finally come up. Brentford will win the league in the Premier League next year.
All right, since we skipped the Everton Liverpool game.
We gotta wait for Ryan to come back. We'll do the today games first.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say since we did that, we're bringing in today's games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got Norwich 0, Everton 1.
Michael Keane scored a goal.
I thought Michael Keane left Everton and went somewhere else. Not gonna lie.
He was probably on loan. They send players on loan quite a bit.
No, Michael Keane was like their best player. I just thought he was too good for Everton.
He's been kind of sus defensively. I think
That's
their
kind
best
of all
player.
of Everton as a
Yeah,
team.
no,
Like, it's
well,
all, like they low key are like you look at them, they're like, oh man, that guy's good, and then you see them play together, and like, oh, they kind of suck.
yeah. Honestly, though, I think that this Everton is pretty good. Like, oh God, I couldn't admit it before the pause, but I'll admit it now. Dominic Calvert Lewin is a good player.
He's a good finisher. I mean, he's a
Yeah.
good target man.
Yeah, and Richarlison, I mean, he's popped off this season.
I don't understand how Andre Gomez is alive.
How he came back
I
from
don't
that
know how he
injury
came back so fast.
was
He was
insane.
literally back
Andre
in like 2
Gomez,
months. Like
that
I
was
saw the pictures of that injury, and I mean, I
gruesome.
don't like. I would just die.
Yeah, well,
I wouldn't even be here if I had. If I would, I wouldn't have a leg. My leg would be gone.
and then some more news. Gylfi Sigurdsson started on the bench that game again because he did the game before against Liverpool.
Leighton Baines still plays soccer.
How old is
Yes.
he
What
now?
the heck?
Oh, he's back.
I'm back.
35.
Sorry.
35.
Well, Nikki, if you're talking about old defenders playing, one of the games that also happened today, 37-year-old Phil Jagielka started. So,
What?
oh yeah.
Oh my
So
gosh.
Everton 0, Liverpool 0.
Okay, we're going back now.
Wait, hang on. I'm still talking
Let
about
me
Norwich.
regale you with the tale
Hang
of this
on.
game.
Hold up.
No.
I'm talking about Norwich. I would just like to say that the only good player on Norwich is Max Aarons.
Yeah, poor guy, dude.
He's so good. He needs
Tim
to get
Krul
out
isn't
of.
that bad.
No, dude. Max Aarons. Yeah, but Tim Krul's old.
Yeah. What about
Max
Todd
Aarons
Cantwell?
is 19? 19?
Todd Cantwell didn't even start, bro.
He's 19 or 20. No, Max Aarons needs to get the heck out of Norwich as fast as possible.
Everton 0, Liverpool 0.
Okay. This game was so
Everton
hard. This was
Everton
literally
cannot
so hard.
win against us no matter what we do.
Like bottle it. You tried to
No,
really
no,
hard.
we tried.
He lost to 10th place.
No Salah,
Or no, you tied to 10th place. Sorry.
no Salah, no Robertson. Starting Naby Keita in midfield.
Naby Keita was like the player of the match. Naby Keita is really good. I mean, I've been saying this for a long time.
Naby Keita is very
Naby
good.
Keita is probably, honestly, your best midfielder.
Well, he's just been injured for like 2 years straight.
So no Wijnaldum. Joel Matip gets injured. We put on Dejan Lovren and
Who-
still walk away with a draw.
Lovren almost gave up the chance of the match, though. But he did give up the chance of the match. He almost gave up the only goal of the match, where
And
he tried to pull
I'm
down one of
gonna be honest with you guys here. Okay, this was Liverpool not wanting to get this. We have very little to do to win the league.
Yeah.
If we lose this game, it is bad for morale. I am fine walking away from this game with a draw, shaking hands, and then moving on and building up our confidence into the Manchester City game and winning there, as opposed to beating Everton here.
Personally,
personally.
I think Liverpool playing the safe route of just doing the bare minimum to win the league at this point.
The bare minimum. I'm sorry. What are we sitting at? We're sitting at 86
Okay,
points.
I said so far.
The bare
Like,
minimum.
I'm talking about from the restart. Doing the bare minimum. That's boring. Like I wouldn't want my club to do the bare minimum when they're on an insane season. I would want my club to go on and win every match
And beat Crystal Palace 4-0?
No, I would. If dude, as a Chelsea fan, if Chelsea drew Everton, I would be pissed, dog. I don't care who is starting. I don't care if you start Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I don't care if you start Marco Marin. I don't care who you start for Chelsea. If they draw to Everton, I'm pissed. Everton sucks.
Everton does suck, but you know what? I don't think it was the wrong move. I think.
Be fair, okay. Also, you lost with the, like probably I would say about half of your starting 11 starting, or not lost. You tied with about half your starting 11 starting. But you forget that your U19 team beat the Everton starting 11 team.
Yes.
Actually, eight
But you couldn't.
starting 11
I think
players.
had Liverpool
You couldn't
gone
beat them.
again, had Liverpool gone full bore here, we could have crushed Everton, without any doubt. But I think the instructions that were given before the match was don't do anything crazy, don't pick up
Then
any
play the great
injuries,
team.
don't pick up any injuries. Don't hurt yourselves. Let's go out here. Let's take it easy and let's ease into the restart as opposed to coming out trying to crush Everton and walking away with 4 injuries. Arsenal.
I mean, don't crush them.
Sad.
I mean,
Just
we
score
don't. I
one
mean,
goal.
we've seen how many injuries in this first week.
Play the
Even
youngsters.
and even then, even playing at a reduced speed, we still ended up losing Joel Matip. Like
Yeah, you know what? You got Lovren. If Lovren is not starting in that final Premier League game, and he is not the first one to lift that goddamn trophy, I will be angry.
He deserves it. Dejan Lovren, player of the season every
Dude,
season.
he
even for
keeps.
Arsenal.
He's the only reason he is still at Liverpool is to keep Mo Salah's morale up.
oh, absolutely, without a doubt, he is there just so Salah doesn't leave. And I'm fine with it. So now
I mean,
Liverpool back with Mo Salah, Andy Robertson, the full force firing on all cylinders. 4-0 against Crystal Palace. Goals from Alexander-Arnold, Salah, Fabinho, and Mane.
We moved on to a different game.
Yes,
Okay.
I've moved on. I'm
Thanks
combining
for
both
telling me.
games. Liverpool 4, Crystal Palace 0.
bloodbath yet again. Sad.
3 points away from winning the league. Or is it 2 points? I think it's 2 points at this point.
They just need City to drop points, and then they've won the title.
Or we have to beat City next Thursday.
I would like to point out you played Chelsea, second to last game of the season. Not saying Gerrard slip part 2.
Dude, that was so sad when it happened. I actually really wanted Liverpool to win the league.
Sign Demba Ba on a free and only play him that game.
Nicky, stop. That was sad.
Yeah,
You
but
have any
that
flashbacks?
team was not this team. This team is unstoppable. I mean, I don't think you realize.
I don't think you realized the Chelsea team they were playing in that game.
I don't think.
Demba Ba starting striker.
I don't think you realize that we are at 86 points. Manchester City is at 63 points. Do you realize how many games we would have to lose?
Dude, if any team could do it, it's Liverpool.
Jordan Henderson slip. I'm calling it now. Losing the title.
If any team could do it, it is Liverpool.
And
That would be the
again,
most Liverpool
old
thing,
Liverpool. This Liverpool, no, we're going to ease into things. We're going to draw to Everton. We're going to crush Crystal Palace, and we're going to crush City. We're ready.
Old Liverpool had Raheem Sterling, bro.
Of course you had
And
Crystal
Luis Suarez.
Palace. And Coutinho.
Yeah,
No, they didn't have Coutinho that
Yes,
season.
they did.
and you know which one of those players
Oh, wow.
we miss now?
Luis Suarez.
Maybe
Luis
Suarez. Maybe.
He was good, bro.
Coutinho
he's
was
still
good
good, but
too.
he
He
wasn't.
scored like every free kick, bro.
No, dude, Coutinho's begging to come back to Liverpool, and we're like, nah.
No, dude, he's lighting it up in the Bundesliga right now.
No.
Eh,
Yeah, dude, he's
no.
destroying this season.
no, not as
Alright.
much as he was in the
Alright.
Premier League.
Anything else we didn't cover?
We didn't cover
Wolves
the
versus
Wolves,
Bournemouth.
Wolves, Bournemouth,
Newcastle,
Wolves.
Aston Villa, or United Sheffield.
All right, Wolves, Bournemouth. Wolves, good. Bournemouth, bad. Bournemouth relegated.
Raul Jimenez is, in my opinion, top five
criminally
striker.
underrated.
I would say top five
Cream
strikers
of the crop.
I would definitely say top 5 strikers in Premier League.
Criminally underrated.
Criminally underrated. He's such a good striker.
Yeah,
I have a
he
few
really
words
is.
for the United Sheffield United game.
All right, Newcastle won, Aston Villa won. Aston Villa, that's a good result for them. They should be happy with that. That's what they're going to need to do. Get those points
Twice
where it
jail
matters.
score.
They let Saint Maximin wear his Gucci headband again.
And finally,
It was a big deal that they let him wear his Gucci headband because when he signed for Newcastle, when he played for Nice, he wore his Gucci headband every single game. And when he signed for Newcastle, the Premier League said he couldn't wear the Gucci headband and Puma headband. But After the restart, they let him wear the dang Gucci headband.
Okay.
This is why he wasn't playing good. Now that he has the Gucci headband back, he has the powers of the flex. Okay? He will start doing good again. All right,
Manchester
continue.
United 3, Sheffield United 0. Walk us through it,
That's
Mark.
United's
Last
first
game.
hat trick
Make it good.
since first Premier League
2013.
hat trick since since
2013 Van Persie.
the snake. Yeah, the snake. Evil guy. Robin Van Persie. But I think what happened was Marcus Rashford decided he didn't want to score at all today.
No, Marcus
And-
Rashford decided that he didn't want to play striker.
And so he graciously gave Anthony Martial all the goals. And when Anthony Martial
No, Martial started striker and Rashford started left mid. They switched him.
No, I know, but also when Martial tried to set up Rashford was like, "Nah, dog, I want you to get the hat trick." So he just kicked the ball way like not even close to the goal. Honestly, I don't even know what he was trying. I mean, the ball was right in front of him. He could have just scored, Mark.
I don't know
Yes.
how people can say Martial is not a good striker.
Martial's
would
not
say
a good
Rashford is
Martial-
striker.
better.
Martial, I would honestly say, I'm looking at this team right now that they started with. I would say Martial's the best one on that
Nope.
team.
Rashford every day of the week. Bruno Fernandes is even better. But
I would
yeah,
say Martial is better.
I don't think Martial's that good.
I think Martial is Man United's best player right now.
Although I
Oh,
don't
God.
think there's a lot of great players on this Manchester United team, if I'm being terribly honest
Are
with
you
you.
saying Igalo is not the best player?
Okay. Marcus Rashford second, Odion Igalo first, and then everybody else.
Also, I think Daniel James is just incredible. He's so good.
Has he done anything since like the first week of the season?
If you watch him come on as a sub, he literally makes insane plays and insane runs. It's just no one on United knows how to finish or like actually play soccer.
Also, this happened against the 37-year-old Phil Jagielka and Jack Robinson,
I'm surprised that he
who
didn't
I don't
leave the
think was
game.
a starter.
Alrighty, and that's the end, right?
That's
Yeah.
it. That's all
Bye,
we got.
guys.
Have
We'll
a
be
good
back next week every Wednesday. Heck yeah.
Bye. Bye.
Later.